Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Game, Cotulla Backroads and Ball Games. I'm your host, Mehmet Sanchez, and this is where we celebrate stories, the legends, and the moments that define Cotulla sports. Because here, legends are made, stories are told, and the game never ends. Tonight, we're stepping back in time to a defining moment in Cotulla athletics, the 1982 Cotulla Cowgirls volleyball team's incredible run to the state semifinals. This was a group of athletes who didn't just compete, they set a standard, pushing the Cotulla volleyball to new heights and making history along the way. I'm honored to have some of the amazing ladies from that team joining me tonight, as well as a couple of the coaches who helped lead the charge. Please welcome Martha Fielder McLeod. How are you doing, Miss Martha?
Oh, doing fabulous. Thank you for having me this evening.
I appreciate you joining us. Next, we have Miss Dolores Lali Ayala, one of our coaches from that team. We have Miss Melinda Ramirez.
Hi.
We have Michelle Whitwell. I'm sorry.
I told you not to.
Picorni.
Hi.
Miss Maria Cookie Vela.
Hi, y'all. Believe it or not, I actually got married. So my last name is Solis. I actually got married, y'all.
Miss Esme Ramirez Garza.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
And last but not least, Miss Lupita Castro. Awesome. So I appreciate y'all ladies joining. All right. So tonight we're going to relive the journey, the hard-fought battles, the unforgettable moments, and the legacy that still stands strong today. And for everyone tuning in, we encourage you to drop your comments and questions throughout the episode. If you were a part of Cotulla sports in the 80s, we'd love to hear from you. Because as we always say, where the game begins, the stories live on. Let's get started. So before we dive into the heart of the story, let's kind of set the stage. I'd love to hear about what Cotulla was like back in the 80s and what it meant to be a part of such a vibrant sports community. You know, let's start with a few questions about life back then. And like I said, if anybody tuning in wants to shout out some questions, we can make them come out. The ladies can read them, answer them to the best of our abilities if we can. And if we, if it's appropriate as well. So first, but, let me start out. What was Cotulla High School like in 1982?
Simple times compared to now. Very simple.
I agree. But the Cotulla High School was a beautiful campus. I mean, it was only about 3 years old at that time. So it was a beautiful campus.
And is that the one that's, I guess it got knocked down now, right? What was the campus?
No,
it wasn't.
No, we were at the new one that's there right now.
Actually, that's being
Yeah.
Now it is going to go into renovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we were one of the first classes
the same site
all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the way through school there.
Okay, because originally it was supposed to be a college or like a junior college, correct?
Yeah.
Those are the rumors I heard.
Yes, it was based on a design.
Yeah, the design, it was a separate building, make it feel like college.
Yeah, that was
based on the one in Uvalde.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because that does kind of look the same. So, back to 1982. How popular was volleyball, in Cotulla at the time? And, what did it mean to the community?
Well, I don't feel like it was all that well known. I remember learning how to play from Coach Williamson because I did AAU track in the summers, and she was coach at the time, and I guess I could jump okay, so she had me come and practice with the junior high and kind of learned how to play a little bit of volleyball. I think basketball was much more popular and well known as a women's sport. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that's what I recall it first. Wasn't many people up in the stands until we started winning.
I remember playing.
You got to remember,
I think we played in middle school, like in junior high. Does anybody remember playing, or like we had PE, or
Just
I remember playing something
we
in
did
middle school.
intramurals, Lolly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
compete against other schools.
Right,
We
right.
only
Oh,
did
wow.
intramurals. Yeah.
I feel that was a disadvantage for us because we didn't have junior high sports at the time. They had removed it a few years before that, so we didn't have junior high teams. So as a freshman, we were beginners. So at least for me, I was.
Wow.
Having club,
definitely.
anything kind of club volleyball was like unheard of. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody played club.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So when you say club, like it's, I guess kind of like a little, like you're an interleague in Cotulla. Is that what it was?
There weren't any.
There weren't. Wow.
No.
No.
That just
I
makes
think they
that
had
one
like
more
little
impressive.
league. I think they had little league for girls, and I don't remember anything for girls younger than high school. Like it is now. I mean, where they have softball or baseball and more sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we had MTV, guys. Come on.
Yeah, and remember, we only had sports in high school. When junior high, remember, we didn't travel when we
No.
were in junior high.
You're right.
We didn't get to travel till we were in high school. We played against each other in junior high, intermediate, and then that was it. So if we'd been together longer, we probably would have won state. But
Yeah.
we only
Yeah.
played together for
Possibly.
2-3 years.
And was
Yep.
intramural like after school, kind of like an extracurricular, or was it just during?
I think
It's just during school.
field day.
Just during
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
Wow.
yeah. It was during PE, wasn't it? Didn't it? Like we did like PE.
Yes.
And our uniforms were just with those little vests.
Like the little colored ones.
So when summer
No,
ended,
a way
and
different
August
time.
rolled around, we had to really get in shape for volleyballs. Coach Turk, Coach Adamy, Coach Ramirez, we would get a letter or something in the mail about when tryouts were and practice, and we'd go to the gym. I guess it was like beginning of August maybe, and we'd start hard workouts and getting in shape, and from a summer of rest, and hitting the court hard and doing sprints and pretty much learning the sport from scratch, as a freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that first week where you couldn't sit down
Yeah.
and potty.
Barely walk.
And it was a tiny bit warm in August.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was there
Did
was
our
there
gym
freshman
have
and JV
AC?
squads? You didn't have AC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
okay.
we
air
just had those
conditioning in the
fans, didn't
gym?
we? I don't remember AC. I just remember those big, noisy fans.
Yes. The
Kind of
big,
just like vents to pull the air out, kind of thing.
I don't remember if we had it yet. I think we got it before I graduated, but I don't know if we started with air conditioning.
I remember having to take the salt pills. I used to love them. Salty stuff. Where's the pickle?
I remember practicing in the summer at Newman, at the old Newman gym, and ooh, that was warm.
I'll say that one for sure does not till probably this day that they don't have AC in that one.
Yeah. No.
I think it was like a fridge in the winter and then like a sauna in the summer.
Yeah. We made it. We made it work, but it was rough.
Oh, look,
We didn't know it at the time, but
another
we just,
guest.
it's all we knew.
We have Chayo.
Hey, sorry.
Let's see, how can I, hold on. I might botch this really. Nope, that's not what I was trying to do. No, that's still not. Hold on, Chayo. I'll get you on here real quick. Give me a minute. We'll make this work somehow.
When did the Dairy Queen come to Cotulla, y'all? Like the 70s?
Yeah. According to their little pictures they have at the Dairy Queen, it was 1976 or 7, something like that.
Yeah.
So y'all didn't have a Dairy
You know,
Queen either?
Michelle, I remember
No, we did. We did.
Oh,
they
I was
had
like, man,
blood
y'all were
cow
living
girls
rough.
at the
We didn't have a McDonald's
Dairy
though.
Queen when you say that.
But we were healthier. We had no processed food.
Yes, I was about to say y'all had the real, like the real stuff, not like what we're eating.
Hey,
Or it doesn't.
There she is.
There you go.
Chayo.
Yay.
Guys,
Chayo.
We'll
All
switch.
so
right.
how is everyone?
Good.
Hey, Chayo.
Wow, Chaya's the baby. She was the baby of the group.
I was
Oh,
a
okay, so
freshman.
Chayo's the baby.
you were the
Chayo's the
freshman on the
baby of the
team.
group.
but she
Yeah,
was
she's
tall.
a baby. She was.
So were there freshmen and JV squads back then, or just there was just varsity,
I think it was just JV.
Yes.
JV and varsity?
At least.
Well, I remember being on a freshman team. I
Really?
think Coach Ramirez coached the freshman team, I think.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
freshman.
Yes. Yes, I coached the freshman team.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we had then the
I
JV
was
and
on
then
the
varsity.
freshman team.
I think going back to if volleyball was popular or not, there were a few teams before us that were close, because I remember Sandra Schrader, Wanda Longoria,
Yes.
Michelle varsity. She played varsity as a freshman, so they got close. They had some, they were competitive, and of course our arch rivals were Pearsall
Mhm.
and
wow.
I feel Jordanton, and those, especially Pearsall. But so there were some teams that were before us that kind of paved the way a little bit, gave us a little taste of like, oh, okay, we can compete. And then our team was went a little further than the other teams.
The team that I remember was Jamie's team, your sister-in-law.
Mhm.
That's when I remember them starting to get
Jamie, Bonnie.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gracie was the setter. Gracie Campos.
Yeah.
Because remember, Chita Garcia, I think, played. And did Becky play too?
Wanda.
Yeah.
Chita Wanda.
Wanda Gloria Wanda.
Yeah. So there
Yeah.
were, but it wasn't until us.
So watching them, like, was that kind of encouragement to y'all, or did y'all kind of already have that decision that you wanted to play volleyball once high school rolled around?
No, I think,
that helped for sure.
yeah.
Watching them be successful and hoping when you get there that you're successful as well.
Yeah, you want to be next.
Yeah.
Yep. So back to the 80s, kind of saying the I guess setting the scene. Were there any notable trends or events in Cotulla during that era that you remember vividly?
I was just thinking about that because I still remember that. I think I can say that I think we started a trend with the boombox entering into the gym, playing Loverboy, or what was it? for the weekend, or what was it?
Yeah.
Was Loverboy.
Loverboy, yeah.
Wasn't that your boombox, the Cookie? I remember a big silver boombox, and we walk into the gym with it. Am I the only one?
I remember the varsity. They got to pick the music when we were like freshmen or JV. I know varsity. They were like, "Yeah, we control the music, and we get to sit in the back."
Yes.
So we had to wait till we were in varsity. Then we had a little more say. But definitely Loverboy and
Ario Speedwagon.
Working for the weekend.
Oh, wait a minute. That
Ario Speedwagon.
over and over. What was that song that we kept singing over and over? Where we are the champions.
Yeah.
Some
Yep.
Queen.
Yeah.
Some Queen.
Yeah.
Nice.
For sure. And we had to use not even, I don't know if we used cassettes or what the heck we used, but
It was cassettes.
it was
Cassette.
a long time
It was
ago.
cassette.
Okay.
I have a
was
little-
cassette.
They make boom boxes for
Yeah,
8 tracks.
I got a serious cassette collection still.
Nice. You have a cassette player?
No, but I still have the cassettes.
I just asked because one of the gifts that we gifted my father was a record player
Yeah.
and a cassette player because
Nice.
he has similar. You know, he
Yeah.
has a big
Yeah.
old box and boxes of all these records and
Yeah,
you
our
know.
generation had it tough. We started with records and then to cassette, 8 tracks and cassettes and CDs, and now we're to
Now
digital.
it's on your phone.
It all.
Yeah.
And I had the little 45s, like the little 45 singles
Oh yeah.
and the albums, and then 8-track cassettes, etc.
Oh,
Good
there it
times,
is.
good
Sorry.
times.
Sorry if it gets
Good
a little
time.
dark. My light's it's going in and out. But you know, now that we set the scene, let me ask Miss Ramirez a question real quick.
Okay.
You know, when you think back at you know, about this team, what made them special?
Well, I know this. Yeah, very special group of girls, and they all got along well, as far as I remember, and they were very intelligent. So that makes a big difference.
Did it make your job easier? Just them
I think
kind
it
of.
was. I think also our coaches had a lot to do with it. Adamy, Fran, Mr. Ramirez, them three, their attitudes and stuff. Yeah, they got us. They would sit us down or they'd talk to them. I think we learned from them how to work together and be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
agree.
Because them three together were really, really good. So then we just took it from them.
I was about to ask, you know, so what were they like at practice? Were they tough?
We called
I'm
Turk
saying nothing.
Thor. Remember that?
What
What,
was that?
Martha?
What was that, Martha?
We called Coach Turk. Didn't we call Coach Turk Thor when she'd go up to serve at us? We're like, oh, look out, Thor's getting ready to serve at us. You know, and she was very demanding. I was incredibly shy. And Coach Turk would always say, you've got to yell mine when you go get to the ball. And I'd be like, mine. And she's like, no, you're going to yell mine. And I'd be like, mine. And she would keep me after when everybody else would leave. And she's like, I'm going to make you aggressive. If I have to work with you extra out. And so she took a shy, very insecure little country girl, and she made me a lot more confident. I was opposite Michelle. Michelle would start on the front line. And since we were the two tallest, I would start at the serving position. When we started, I could not hit that stupid ball over the net overhand. I just didn't have the power, the strength. And she's like, I've got to have you start here, Martha, because I need Michelle on that front line. And I'd be like, oh. So she would work with me and work with me and work with me. And gosh dang it, if I didn't get so good with her tutelage, that when we were playing, I think we were playing Pearsall in the finals at Jordanton. You guys remember that? The power went out and the lights went out.
Oh, yeah.
It was like we were sitting there in the dark. And I think I served like 12 aces in a row in that game. I'm like, wow, I came a long way in this school year.
Nice.
So Coach Ramirez, thank you for putting up with us, the patience, and Coach Turk, and Coach Adamy, and not giving up on us.
Had great memories of it. I'm glad I was a part of it.
Was there Miss Ramirez, was there a certain approach that y'all took to like just, I mean, was it a different approach or was it just kind of the same thing that y'all would get ready for every season? Or was this one just a little different?
Well, I think it's pretty much like they've been talking about, tough practices and drills and consistency and discipline. I mean, there was no slacking. So it was always staying focused and striving for success.
And if you've ever had Fran Adamy give you a look like, you better shut up, or you better do what you're supposed to do, or you better quit talking, or don't give me that look.
Yeah, I've
I
had
wish
that.
you were going to.
You had that down.
There was this one time where, speaking to the fact that I didn't know anything, but for some reason it felt like we had a really good team. Because I remember telling one of my uncles, my Uncle Ambrose, and I remember exactly, we were in Lytle, Texas, at my grandma's house. and my Uncle Ambrose was there, and my family. And I remember telling him back in like August, September, I told him, we're going to state, Uncle Ambrose. We're going to state. You just watch. And so I've never had any kind of like, premonition type statements or anything like that. But I remember that very vividly, all these years later that I didn't know much, but as a player, I knew we had some kind of a special team. Michelle and Martha, I mean, everybody in their roles were just excellent. I'm a big fan. Everybody had their Lupita was fast, and Esme, everybody was fast, and we had great leadership. So to me, that's what I remember. And then, slowly, we had support from our families, and it's just a great support system that I remember in that time period, and that really helped. That I wish that everybody has that, from Cotulla, is a good support system.
Yeah, I think the whole city was behind everybody at that point. It was awesome. Actually, what I got out of that, you guys set the bar up high, and it just kept going. For a little while. I don't know how it is now, but I mean, those were times I was happy to be part of your extra per se, but I was there with you guys, and for the next coming years, it was awesome to have you guys set that bar so high. And I mean, Cotulla was supportive.
It was just really fun beating like Pearsall and Jourdanton and Medina Valley, and it was a great run. I especially remember the game in Beeville. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was Yoakum, or I don't know, but
no, it was Refu. Yeah.
Okay, well, they were like an all-black team, right? Something like that.
And they were like undefeated. I feel like they were like 30-0 or something.
Oh yeah, they had a girl that was like 6'1" or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I remember playing in that Beeville gym, and that was that one really stands out, in my memories in Beeville.
That one, and you mentioned Medina Valley because they came into district our senior year, and so they were a big school. I don't know what happened, if we went up or they dropped down, but I remember being pretty intimidated having to go play them too because they had a history of a strong volleyball team.
Yeah.
So that was a big win.
And then
But
when we
when
St. Agustin also. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lupita.
when we would play tournaments, we I know as going up as juniors and seniors, we would play tournaments with bigger schools.
Yeah.
With a big school. So, and we were able to hang.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to mention, that when we're talking about the coaches, I remember Coach Turk, the self-sacrificing that they had to do, because I remember that we went in her little truck. They all remember that? In her little truck back, and then Connie held up a sign that said help. We're driving to a tournament in San Antonio. I forget which but it was in San Antonio, and we didn't have use of a bus or anything like that. So she took us in her own vehicle. We're in the back of the little camper, and then a couple of them in the front. We didn't even have a baby bus. We had to use her vehicle.
What? Wow.
You know, remember that girl? I remember Connie with that sign, and they were like, "Oh my God!" People she wrote it with the lipstick, help. But anyways, she did that for us. You know, it was just her. It was a Saturday morning, and we took off early and went in a little vehicle.
I remember. I don't know if it was our senior year or junior year, but talking about is volleyball, was it a big deal? Tilden had just gotten a team, right? And so we had to play Tilden, and they did not know how to play volleyball. So what they would do is literally like tomahawk the first ball right back over. Like we were not prepared. It was like a whole different kind of game. They were playing ping pong. We were trying to play volleyball. And Yeah, dang near lost to them because it was so disruptive.
Yeah, so unorthodox. It was like,
Plus, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Naomi had us driving around somewhere we weren't supposed to be and showed up to the gym late before the game.
Well, speaking of losing a game, I remember I think we lost to San Diego one time during that run. I hope I'm getting it right, but we because we weren't undefeated that year, right?
We were like 29-2 or something.
Yes, and I want to say we lost to San Diego, and I remember like, wow, we learned just as much from losing that game that we did from the other games that we won, but it was, I think I know I was in shock. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we lost, because of course we wanted to be undefeated, but I want to say we lost the game to San Diego. So that was a rough game. Maybe something like that. Like, I don't know. I don't remember if I want to say it was volleyball. It could have been basketball, but I remember thinking like, what are they doing that, just like that. They were doing something that was just so, weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I was getting. So that was going to be
before
kind of my
every
next.
game,
Go ahead.
how we would all get in a circle and we'd hold hands and we'd all pray together before we'd play. How we'd all get interlock our hands together in a circle before every game, and we'd say a team prayer together. I don't know. There was a lot of unity before every game. I kind of felt like we were really bonded tight together, looking out for each other.
And we had a
and everything
special
before every
handshake
game.
too, that you go behind your hands and just automatically. Now I'm gonna say that we started that too, but I could be wrong.
Would you say it was like a sisterhood?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's kind of been, every time I've interviewed, our successful teams, so to speak, on the guy side, we'd always talk brotherhood. There was a brotherhood. You held each other accountable. After practice, it wasn't, we weren't just brothers at practice. We were always hanging out afterwards, giving each other rides to practice, going out to eat. Is that kind of similar to what y'all were? Did y'all have that social life together outside of sports as well?
Yes, we used to hang out at Cookies, I remember.
Where was the hangout spot in Cotulla back then?
The Dairy Queen.
There was
Dairy Queen.
The bread.
Dairy Queen.
Billy Goat Hill.
Billy Goat.
Billy Goat Hill. There you go. Billy Goat Hill.
I hear it's flat now. I don't know. 10 or something.
And the Pozo. Do y'all remember the Pozo? That place we used to call the Pozo that was back there. Where it's Martinez Park now.
Martinez.
Yeah, where Martinez Park is, there was a place back there. It was like the Pozo. We used to go in there all the time.
Don't tell all the secrets.
Okay.
It's gone now.
Yeah, we're lucky there was no TikTok or nothing. We would have all been in trouble. Come on now. I got it. That wasn't a live. We were there. Woo.
Oh man! So we got some comments flowing in. Mr. Sobrevilla saying hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We have.
Oh,
Look at Katie.
Let's see who else. Glinda Gonzalez.
Hey, Glenda.
And the last one for now.
Oh. Thank you, Roxana.
All right. So now about the season and the playoff run. Miss Ramirez, I'm gonna go. Oh, she just disappeared. Let's see.
Oh, yay.
She's back.
Oh, there she's back. Okay. Miss Ramirez, what would you say the biggest challenge was as a coach that season? What was that? Can you hear us?
there may be. Are you muted?
I'm showing she's not muted.
No.
Let's see. What do I toggle? How about now, ma'am?
Oh,
We still can't hear you.
I like to guess something. I'm gonna say that she's gonna say, for us not getting big heads. I remember we lost to St. Augustine and Laredo, that tournament there. They were pretty good, and then we lost. We're like, that's really what I felt like that's what we needed to kind of take us back to the real life.
Bring you back down to reality.
Yes, because we were like, oh.
And where did this loss come into play? Was it middle of the season, towards the end?
It was kind of the beginning, kind of towards almost starting district. I think it was
okay.
It was a tournament. Or no, it wasn't a tournament. It was a regular game, but it was in Laredo, St. Augustine. It was a private school. Remember that, Cookie?
Yeah.
Did you get it working, Miss Armidas? Maybe. No?
Maybe she can use the chat.
She could. There is a chat.
I can't hear her.
No, me either.
No. Can't hear.
Oh.
Is she muted?
No, I show her that she's not muted. You have headphones? Maybe you connected to a headphone by accident? Need the grandkids for tech support. Go get Ryan. So real quick, ladies, what about is there a specific game or moment that stood out to you from that season or that playoff run?
The Pearsall.
Pearsall. Yeah, a game against Pearsall.
To go to Jordanton and the
Yeah.
the playoff game where we were 1-1. We won one, they won one, and then we had a tiebreaker in Jordanton for the district championship. And a thunderstorm came in the middle of the game, lightning, the power went off. It was a heck of a game.
And y'all ended up winning district. Oh, so I guess that brings me to a question.
We ended up winning it. Yeah.
How many teams would go from each district?
One.
Just one. So you had to win that game. There was no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now they'll send like what, 3 or 4?
It's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and believe it or not, there's some districts that only have like 4 or 5. So you win one game, you're in, you're going.
Yeah.
You know, if you got an injury at the beginning of the district, don't worry about it. You'll be good by the time it's over.
I think the regional tournament sticks in my mind as well, because I think we went to Kingsville and played, and at that point everybody's good, really, and I feel like the regional tournament was where I think we really played really well.
Cotulla and Kennedy. And Kennedy is kind of close, so they had more fans than made it because it was so close.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and by then, people were following with, going with us, and our families, were traveling with us, and so that was like, whoa, we're going to play in Kingsville. That's probably the furthest that I'd been, South Texas. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. But just knowing that we beat Pearsall, Medina Valley, and some of our neighbors.
Divine.
I think we had Divine. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Divine. We used to play Divine. But there was that girl from Pearsall, Mary Wells. Much later, I became friends with her. So I ran into them at B County College. So I was actually playing with B County College, the volleyball team, for like off season, and I had a really good chance of getting on the team for the regular season. But then that summer they cut the sports at B County College. Now it's called Coastal Bend,
Oh, okay.
But I did play with Mary Wells and a few others that we played against, and that was different because we were arch rivals, in high school for 4 years. And then, she's, actually just a nice person, but very competitive. But, so that a lot of the girls ended up that we had played against played at Buchanan College. And they went everywhere to play. And when they took out the sports program in Buchanan College, a lot of those girls moved to San Antonio, and they had their scholarship, and they helped them get other places. But I didn't. I was too chicken, and end of story. But yeah, Mary Wells actually was a very nice person,
let me
even
ask
though
you.
we hated her.
I was about to say, let me ask you about rivalries. How were they? Because the reason I ask, and it's funny, it kind of bothers me at times because I'm a peewee coach, and my kids are like, oh yeah, my friends are over there. I'm like, they're not your friends. Like Dilly's our rival. Like you gotta hate those, you gotta hate those kids over there, And then afterwards I'm like, all right, yeah, now you go back to being buddies. But I was like, when we step on the field, that's not your friend no more. And it was kind of like that. And even when I grew up, Dilly was our rival, so it was like, man, I can't stand nobody from Dilly. And I would end up playing summer league ball with them, and it was kind of like, all right, y'all are okay, but once we're done with this, I'm gonna go back to hating you for a little longer. But so was it like that back then? Like you just, you kind of brought it to the court. If you saw them kind of roaming around your town, I guess, just I don't like that person.
Pure hate, and we didn't have social media. We were small districts, small schools, and no social media. So, we were all, towns away from each other. And so, yeah, it was just pure hate.
I love it.
I mean, there was no way to see them in some other, capacity. And so, yeah, it was. Now, as a teacher, I see students, and after the games, they go, "Oh, I'm going to go say hi to my friends from another school," and I'm like, "No, those are your enemy. No, that's no, we're not." I mean, I have teacher friends that teach at other schools, and I'm like, "Yeah, don't talk to me during football season,"
Yeah.
But
I remember the Trevino girls from Pearsall.
Oh, girl, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, Lord.
And there seems to be one like in every year, because I was like, I thought she already graduated, and there's another thing.
Yeah.
They were
too funny,
good,
though.
so I guess that's why we didn't really like them. Pretty good. They were
Where nobody could wear. You get crucified if you wore green.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that's the way it was too for me. You never. Heck, I didn't even like the Longhorns because I was afraid to wear anything that resembled a Maverick. So I grew up an Aggie fan, just kind of avoid all that. Yeah,
don't tell me, Coach Ramirez.
Still, Miss Ramirez, you wanna jump off and then join back, and I'll bring you back in. That might help it out. We actually got a comment from little brother. So it's fun to say that it was memorable, because I'm sure 10 years old traveling, going to the road to state it's pretty fun. I mean, me and my little brother still talk about 2006 football season, just riding up and all the way to Waco. So I'm sure it was fun for people like Robbie over there.
Thanks, Sandra.
They were little. Him and Tony, they were little.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once we went to the state tournament, I think it started the state tournament. We actually got one of the big buses where the students were able to go. So we had a good sized group at the gym in Austin.
Yeah.
I remember even my sister, she wasn't into sports or nothing, and she was there, and I could hear her screaming. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. There you go. That's what they needed, though. You need spirit buses. Spirit buses bring some different energy, especially to an out-of-town game.
We had the baby bus.
Oh, the little.
Yeah.
Commenting on rivalries. Pure.
There was only like, how many acres. We fit in the little bus, so it was not. And I guess it was economical. I don't know why would they chose
Save
little.
some gas.
Hey,
now?
Coach Belinda's back.
Remember when she
Oh,
No.
I'm back. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go.
Let's go.
hey,
Yes.
I can hear ya.
All
Okay, good.
right. All right, Miss Ramirez, let me hit you with a question real quick.
Okay.
Was there a certain moment that when you realized how special this team was? All eyes are on you when I
That's
ask
a
these
tough
questions,
one.
and I
I
apologize.
just want to say that it wasn't a single moment. I mean, they were special all the way through. They're a remarkable group of girls.
Does anyone recall how our principal was not such a great fan, and then he was kind of forced to be a fan? Doesn't it? Frank Sierra, I remember. Even at the end, we even got flowers for the team.
They called him Papa Smurf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes. Let it out.
The same principal didn't allow us to have a prom, but that's another subject
Oh man.
for another day.
Let it all out.
Yeah, but it was hard. It was hard for us too because it was always about the football boys.
Oh, yeah.
And we started winning, and the boys didn't like that because they were winning. Sorry, but they were winning. So yeah, it was kind of hard.
Yeah,
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 we had little travel shirts that said Cowgirls on them.
yeah. Hey, but do y'all remember that we didn't get volleyball uniforms till we were juniors? I mean, actual volleyball. We were wearing the same uniforms for like the last 15 years, and then when we started winning, they actually bought us new uniforms, the long sleeve. Remember that? We were so
Oh
excited.
man.
We're like, yes! It only took us to win and to go to state for us to get new uniforms.
So what was your uniform before that? Just like a t-shirt?
But they were basketball. They were basketball uniforms, weren't they?
Oh.
they had the short sleeve.
The
They were,
short
and they were,
sleeve.
they were short sleeves. They
Kinda
didn't
like
have
a
the long.
little cut, kind of.
Yeah.
I hear you.
And you just wore the same uniform for basketball season, volleyball season.
Yes, you did.
Oh man.
Yeah, remember that? Yep.
You gotta have that Cotulla cowgirl. I mean, I have one on, just so everybody, in case anybody's wondering. I have the cat, but I have
There
a
you
cowgirl.
go.
I wear cowgirls
Yeah.
gear. I have a daughter, so
Right.
yeah. I offered to make caps, but I didn't get too much response from it, so I want one. Eventually, I'll get some.
Okay, I have a couple of questions and a memory, and then I have to go pick someone up at the airport. But
No, go ahead.
was it our junior or senior year before regionals that Chris Butcher was driving me to high school in the morning, and I forget the name of the little man, pulled out and like T-boned us right before the railroad tracks.
Oh man.
You guys remember that?
Yes,
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
that.
I remember.
Was it the senior year? Was it right before like the regionals? Was it that same year?
I think
Yes.
That was crazy. There was a whole lot of people showed up right away at that intersection really fast.
Oh my
we
God.
gave Coach
But I was
a
fine.
big scare. That's for sure.
Yeah, all the coaches showed up fast. It was kind of funny.
That's an easy way to get your butt kicked by a coach. For that guy, not for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
And one thing I don't remember, and I'm pretty sure it must be a typo in all the newspaper clippings, is that we lost the third set at state. Like, I don't know, was it 15-1 or 2 or 3? I think that's a total typo. They missed a number. I'm sure it wasn't that. I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we made. I was looking
I
at
don't
that.
either.
I don't remember us
I
getting.
don't remember getting our,
But
backside
was-
like that.
But I do
It must have
remember.
been a really hard way to go out, and that's why I didn't
It
remember.
was. And the third game that till this day, I mean, I feel like the calls they made on us, the role. I was a backline specialist, so I mean, I never throughout the season never been called, not even once. That game, it was like 3 in a row. It's like, are you serious?
Yep.
They kept calling roll,
Well,
and that's how they were getting all the points on that one server. And I know they took me on somebody else in, and it was the same thing. We're just getting that call every time.
Well, like earlier we were talking about how that gym is really weird, that Gregory gym, and that did affect me. We didn't have like a lot of experience in playing at these big high profile games, but that gym at Gregory gym, and you, Michelle, noticed it also when you were there later as
Huh.
a
When I
collegiate
played in
player.
college, it was still hard to play in that gym. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, there's a reason they say that people choke, because I know myself, I know we all played, I know myself, that wasn't my best game. And I don't want to blame the gym, but I kind of want to blame the gym because it was really different. And and just such a big gym, the way it's set up. But I think we did. I know I cracked under the pressure of being at that level again, because it was a lot of emotions.
Stressful.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
started so well. That's what really hurt, because like we knew we could have done it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think we won.
We won the second set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Statistics were in our favor, but anyway,
And
I
it
have to go, and it's been so wonderful. And thanks for coordinating this. And go Cowgirls! And
Yay.
see y'all at the Wild
Thank
Hog.
you, Michelle.
Bye,
We
Wick.
appreciate your time.
Bye.
All right, take
Bye,
care.
Wick.
Bye.
There, Michelle.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So I wanted to add to that we were always the underdog. I feel we were always the underdog, and
The little town.
yeah, we're a little town, and I think even
We were not expecting.
now, I see Cotulla, and I don't mind being the underdog. I don't mind Cotulla. I don't mind being the underdog, but Cotulla, like you said, 2006. We've had the runs. We've had a run at, not the runs, but we've had a run at different seasons, and from what I can see, they're just getting better and better. The girls in powerlifting, the girls in volleyball. I wish Coach Adamy was here, because I know they had a run in the volleyball not that long ago, maybe a few years ago.
Yeah, they did.
I went to a game, and then they had a basketball maybe a couple of years ago where they got, a little deep in the playoffs maybe, but it's there. The talent is there. It's and that's what I would say to the young kids. It's just keep at it. Just it's okay if we're the underdog.
Yeah. I think at this point, it's just something we wear on our sleeve. But it's funny, whenever, so, after y'all's run, or, here, let's kind of set it like this. Because you said you cracked under pressure. What was there any kind of, like, is it something that you prepared for? Or were you just very unprepared that you didn't expect, kind of like the atmosphere? Because it was so new. Is there, I'll start with Miss Ramirez. Was there something that y'all did kind of to prepare mentally and physically for that stage, that moment? Because it was going to be, it's different, going from high school gyms to college gyms. There's I guess the layout is just so much wider at that point.
Well, I think they were prepared physically, but getting that, preparing them mentally, that's just a whole different, it's just all new to them. So that was just a whole new experience. So that was the hard part, probably the mental.
Was there a tough pep talk before? I'm just,
Oh yeah, of course.
Turk, always.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that other thing that we lost to the Seminole, they had experience being there. It wasn't their first year, and
okay.
I think they might have already had one state previously.
Oh, okay. Kind of under Seminole. Oh,
Yes,
that's West Texas, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to say
I
sounds
think
very
so.
familiar. Yeah.
But we
You
did
had
start
the
well.
stands were so full of people, it was one of the bigger crowds we had ever played with. I mean, to see all those other schools and our whole hometown was there in that huge gym. I just remember walking out and our eyes were big, like, wow, there's so many people here to watch us. And it was kind of awe inspiring. Us little, we never had an audience that big before. And I know it scared me, like, gosh, there's so many people here for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I mean, it can set off different emotions that you didn't know probably weren't built up to that point. And I wanted to ask y'all, as far as like egos go, or not egos, right? I'm not trying to say anybody had an ego, but what was it like knowing that you were top 4 teams in the state that year?
It was nice. It was a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I have good memories.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, little us, here we are.
It's like glory days.
Yeah, it felt so good when they give us the medals. That's when for me, that's when it really hit. Like, oh, we did something special here. When we all, even though we were wasn't a gold or any of the top 3, but we still got a medal. I think it was consolation or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you usually get one. I mean, I know like for football, the boys
still
did
have
get
it.
one.
I still
for
have
making
it,
that
yeah.
far. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it a big medal?
Mm-hmm.
Right, UI with the UIL and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fun stuff. So what were do you remember the other 2 teams that were playing to go to state besides, y'all and Seminole?
Ooh.
Well, Seminole went on to win state.
Oh, they won state.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. Because, after it got brought up, I did not know, but UIL has an archive that you can go back and search. So I put Cotulla, and lo and behold, y'all are the first one that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
yeah, so it showed. But, nowadays, I think, I don't know, it might get realigned, but the South no longer plays the West. Now they're playing East Texas teams. So North Texas plays West Texas, South Texas plays East Texas. So that's kind of like the new thing now. So I mean, heck, if y'all did, if it was like that, who knows what would have been the outcome had y'all played an East Texas team instead of West Texas. Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's my man, dude. Nobody likes West Texas. Not now, Nico. That's my brother-in-law right there.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, the journey ended right there at semifinals. 1 game away from state. It's tough. It's something that we've experienced. I think it's firsthand in different sports. But what was the lasting impact that experience had on you?
I want to say it was an ego booster, for us kids from a small town. I know for me, it really made me think the world is at your footsteps. If a small town kids like us could just work together for a common goal and make it to state playoffs. For me personally, it really brought me out of my shell, to realize, pursue those dreams, go out there into the big world, and you can do it. And so for me, it really made us see that, just from a small idea. And Lolly, I remember you telling, like, halfway in the season, you kept saying, we're going to state. And I'd be like, you're saying that, I don't know. And then the more we kept winning, it's like, man, maybe Lolly's onto something. And just that, working for a common goal, and excelling, that, there's nobody to stop you but yourself.
I remember a practice where we were like, man, Coach Turk was making us run like sprints or, whatever you call them, like running down halfway and then back. And then I forget what they call them, but I remember
like suicides.
Yo-yos.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like the end of the practice, and it was the week before we went to state, and it was like we'd already won regionals, and like Martha said, I mean, it's like an ego, but Coach Turk is making us run these yo-yos or whatever, suicides. And I remember kind of like gasping for air, And I was like, come on, guys, we're going to state. And even Coach Turk smiled. She cracked a smile because, yeah, I was tired, but I was just like shouting to the floor, we're going to state. Come on. And, so it was an ego booster. And as it, I always think very fondly of it, over the years, because I've had a lot of time to think about it. And yeah, I mean, I still use teamwork skills, every day, as a teacher and just in general in life. And yeah, we didn't finish it, but we got there. We got to the dance, and it's a really, really nice memories. And I just, to me, it was cool. I think it really developed that passion for sports. I really like sports, and I wanted to be a coach for a time. I didn't do it. I'm a teacher, but I never coached. But still, it definitely, I guess because of the fond memories, I wanted to be a teacher, and I had a good high school experience, because of sports.
Would you say that it kind of eliminated the I'm stuck in a small town mentality kind of deal?
Oh,
Did it kind of
definitely.
erase that where you're
Yeah,
kind of
I
like, man, I'll be
mean,
stuck in Cotulla forever kind of deal?
I just looked at it like, yeah, we can do stuff. I mean, there was really no question in my family whether I was going to college or not. My mom was like, you're going to go. I mean, that's not a question to debate. But it did, I didn't go too far away from home, and I go home every weekend. But it definitely, helped me know that there's things that are possible. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, when y'all talk about Cotulla, kind of backed y'all up all the way over there to Austin, what was it like to see that, the town rally behind you throughout this run?
That was really nice. I remember on their way back from one of the games that the fans were actually at a school, and they were waiting there for us, and it was like midnight or something.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of people there waiting, so that was super nice.
The police escorts always would be cool, because we got those in band as well, and in sports. We'd get the police would meet us like a few miles outside of Cotulla and bring us in, and that's really cool. I think they still do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They still do that, and that I hope lasts, for forever, because that's a great feeling when you see, the lights in front of you, not behind you, and they're escorting you in.
For sure. Unless it's one of your brothers, and I kind of breathe a little easier. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's always a fun part. That's fun, and as you said, one of my fondest memories was we won a baseball game, playoff game. I think it was like regional or area, and they actually paraded us through Cotulla. Like, we went up and down probably like the entire town in like a matter of 10 minutes. You know how it is. But we cleared like all of Cotulla, and like little kids were coming outside, and we're like, what the heck? Like, it was cool. So that's why that's the feeling. If you could relive one moment from that season, what would it be?
Ooh.
And if you don't mind, if I could go through each of y'all, I'd like to hear every one of y'all's answer.
For me, I'm gonna say that
Probably
last game
winning
because I feel
regionals, right?
we could have done better.
What was that?
I feel like for me would have been the last game at the tournament, at the state game, that in particular the last game, because I feel like if we'd have shaken off the nerves or whatever, we
Been
could have.
different.
The whole thing is. And for a few years after that, I remember it would always bother me. It's like, oh, we could have won that game. We should have won that game, because we were competing with them. It was just that, like I said, that calls that they kept calling on us. We didn't even get a chance to play defense.
Yeah. What about you, Miss Martha?
I would probably say winning the regionals. That was because we played Refugio that had been like a state champion for many years, and we played them the first round of regionals, and I think we beat them in 2 sets, right, Lolly?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
two out of the first two, and that, and then so our confidence just went out the roof after that, and then winning against Kennedy the regional championship. It's like, wow, Lolly was right all this time. We are going to state. Oh my God. That was just a heck of a celebration that, probably one of the happiest moments of high school.
But Martha, you had a lot of happy moments because you won district in tennis, right?
Wow.
Like almost every
Tennis.
year.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
Cotulla-
3
yeah.
out of 4 years, district tennis.
I
Yeah.
forget
How
Cotulla
far
had
did you
tennis.
get?
Basketball we did it.
Yeah. How far did you get in tennis? Like, do they go? You just win district and that's it, or you keep going?
No, I made alternate to state in tennis. I
Wow.
was like fourth at regionals, so I was like the alternate or third at regionals. Whoever got to go to state in tennis, I was the next one.
Okay.
And I want to point out Melinda Ramirez in one of our tennis tournaments. She even took the school bus through the drive-through at was it a Wendy's, Melinda?
Yes, it was Wendy's in Uvalde. Yes.
Good job, Miss Ramirez. Miss Lupita, what's a moment that you would want to relive from that season?
I have to echo Esme. It was state. Like I said, it was to have that moment again would, but it would have been state. For me, it's the state one. You want it, you want it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was one of the ones that I wanted it.
Yeah. Build a time machine, we'll go back. Miss Cookie?
I think for me, I think the moment was when we won regionals and we were just all together. I mean, it was just all us players and the coaches. I mean, we were just on each other. That was my favorite part, is that we were just loving on each other and we were always together, and we just had each other's back. And that's the one feeling that I always remember, is us together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Chayo?
Oh, well,
You being the young one.
being the youngest, I guess my biggest, proudest moment was when I was chosen to be the sparer. But being the youngest, and it was frightening and also exciting at the same time. So, I was just going like, please don't put me in, please don't put me in.
You gotta get ready for those moments to shine. Miss
Yeah.
Lolly, have you shared your moment with us? Or your the
Well,
moment you want to relive?
And me and Cookie, we would rotate each other. So when I was back row, because back in the day, we don't rotate. I can't even understand the way they rotate right now, to be honest. But we did the old school, you just rotated straight up. And so she had me when I was in the back row. Remember, Cookie? And I know there was a game where you can only do that so many times. And I was trying to get back in, but coach was like, no, you can't go back in because of whatever. But I remember with Cookie with that. But I do have to say the Beeville game, I think against the All Black team, I forget.
Van Vleck.
Van Vleck.
Fleck.
Van Vleck.
Van Vleck, yeah. Van Vleck or Fleck? Van Vleck with a V?
Vleck. I think it's with a V.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
that
played 'em in
game to
football.
me really,
You did.
I really liked that game. That was fun because we were total the underdog. We, but they didn't know what to do with us because they couldn't stop us. And then, yes, of course, the state game, like, if we could have gone at least to the finals. But then, of course, if you make it to the finals, you just want to win it all.
Yeah, for sure.
But anytime when we played Pearsall, wow, that was what a game for Pearsall for district. So I'm torn between those two games and the Van Vleck game because in Beeville because they were just so much fun. And back then, now varsity plays best out of 5 games.
Yeah,
So you
that's
have
the
to
way it
win
is.
3.
Yeah.
But back then, we just had to win 2 out of 3. And so I think if the rules had applied at state, 42 years ago, if we would have had 5 games, to win that game at state, I think we would have come back because we had won the second set.
Yeah.
But of course, back then they didn't do that. But definitely, those are some good times, and those 2 games, really stand out for me.
Lolly.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Van Vleck. You'll never guess who my roommate was in college.
That tall girl.
Wester Thomas from Van Vleck.
Oh,
And
wow.
we talked about that game.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe you guys beat us.
Small world.
Yeah,
That's how it goes.
I don't think that they thought we were going to beat them, because
No.
they had that tall girl.
Well, they were also bigger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it seems like we're also the smallest team. We didn't have that many players compared to everybody else. They had
I think 9 on the roster was what it.
Yeah.
The picture that was shared.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Armidas? Is there a moment that you'd like to relive from that season?
I don't think it's just a moment. I think it's just the whole season was great. Great memories.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish we would have got Miss Adamy.
All great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. I wish Coach Adamy would have been here too.
She was there too. When I was in school. And I'll be honest, that's probably, Coach Booker would put the fear of God in me, when he'd get mad at me. But Coach Adamy, not being my coach, would still do the same thing. Whenever you mentioned about a look, I remember she gave me that look one time, and I was like, oh, I'll go back in the locker room. Didn't say a word. I was like, oh, I know. You don't want me here? I'm gone. I'll see you later. So, Coach Adamy was around whenever I was in school. I think she might have just came back my freshman year, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember clearly, but I do remember her my senior year, clear as day. Sweetest lady, but whenever she had, if she was in that mood, just stay clear.
What was scary? She was always this mellow thing or whatever, but when the look came, you're right.
And it's funny because I'm sure somebody can, maybe not even from Cotulla, because I think she's been in Freer and all kinds of places. I'm sure that look has been shared around, and it's probably a topic like, remember when Coach Adamy would look at us and say, oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be a thing to put us all together?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we could always run this back. So, one of the things that I like to do, especially with these episodes, where I'm kind of bringing a tradition, I'm trying to create a tradition here with this podcast. And, hearing about, like I said, I never knew that Cotulla had a volleyball team that was that close to state, that made that kind of run. So, just kind of educating the kids, like we have proof right here that it's possible. It's just because we're from Cotulla, just because we're small towns, just because, I think the thing is South Texas towns, and especially in football too, that's always talked about, like, oh, South Texas towns, they don't get past regionals. Once you start meeting the bigger boys, San Antonio teams, it's kind of like they kind of just ride us out. So it seemed, that was kind of like what they did in volleyball, and it's kind of what gets seen, oh, they're just going to get to regionals because now height comes involved, or, the team. So this is one of the things that I'm kind of, I take a lot of pride in, is that, we have living proof from our town that it's possible to get to state. If you could tell current players, and, this is real big for me right now because I have a daughter. She's 8 years old, about to turn 9. If you could tell younger players or give younger players advice, what would it be? And if you don't mind, we'll start with Miss Ramirez. You're from a coach's perspective and a teacher.
For sure, they have to work hard, of course, but anything's possible. Like you said, I mean, they can do it. It doesn't matter where you're from. Anything's possible.
Miss Esme?
I would say for me, would be the advice would be just to practice hard. And that's what one of the things that I always remember being said: the way you practice is the way you're going to play. So you have to practice hard, and you have to love practice. I remember loving practice. It was like, to me, that was so fun because we lived and breathed volleyball, literally. But yeah, practice as if you're going to, how you're going to play, as if you're playing.
Yeah, for sure. Take pride in it.
Yes.
Miss Chayo?
I lived in the I lived in the outskirts. I lived in a ranch, and believe it or not, I mean, from the small town, the great memories of the accomplishments and everything that you put into it can result in things like this. It was one of my most greatest experiences, and it came from a small town. So whoever's out there listening, I mean, you could be from the little speck of salt in your table and get to the grandest pride of your life. So don't give up and keep hacking at it.
Absolutely. Miss Lubita?
For me, it's like as usual, practice hard and commit. And you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Don't do it because you're forced. It's you gotta love it. And for us, you could tell we loved it. And the girls were awesome. Loved my girls.
Absolutely. You got to have that as well. Miss Lolly?
Well, as a teacher, again, just what everybody said, work hard, stay in school, find something you like, whether it's sports or academics or some other extracurricular, dancing, music, any of the arts, sports, and see it. Because I remember Coach Turk taking us to see a game at Blossom Center. It was like a national team, maybe. Does anybody remember that? It was a national United States
I remember that.
volleyball team against, somebody, another country. I'm not sure. I forget. But, just to see it, there's so much access now on streaming, all kinds of platforms to watch volleyball and watch it when you're not practicing it and learn it, the craft, the fundamentals. I'm a big Spurs fan, Tim Duncan, but, just learn all that. But there's so much stuff to watch, that just look at the way they're doing it and the way they do it, whether it's live or, in the world champions or the Olympics or, that kind of thing, or just the professional leagues. But definitely, if it's your passion and just do whatever it is, do it completely 100%.
Miss Martha?
I would say, thinking about, you asked what made our, why did we succeed like we did? I think the coaches looked at each of our strengths. Like Lolly said, she was good on the front row, and then Cookie was a beast on the back row. And, the coaches looked at us as individuals as what are we really.
Oh, you froze a little
You're
bit.
frozen.
Man, she was getting to the good part too. Okay, let's see. Hopefully we get her back. His phone may have died.
I just wanted to add also that not allow any circumstances to get in your way of your goals. I remember growing up, I was a migrant. My family and I went up north. And so some of the kids were able to practice at the gym, during the summer. And what I had to do was, or not had to, but I wanted to do was, I would practice with my little sister just outside in the, every day we'd just go play volleyball with each other. And so don't allow anything to get in the way of what you want to do because it could be done no matter what.
Absolutely. Oh man, I'm willing to bet her phone died, so maybe we'll get her back before we're done. Um, so that's so before we wrap this up, what's life like after, or what was life like after high school for most of y'all? I know, we've discussed Lolly's career, but what about everybody else?
Well, went to college a few years and wanted to be a coach, but I didn't finish that. But
I think everybody wanted to be a coach after that, right?
yes, I remember writing in that thing where they say, like at the end of the year, you're a senior. What is it that you want to do when you get out of high school? I remember I have a copy of it still. As I wanted to be an Olympic volleyball coach.
There you go.
But and then the other thing was a sports journalist. But anyways, it did work out either ways. You whatever comes your way, you just make the best of it. And so working for a company for a long time and now trying to retire someday soon, couple of years maybe. So
There you go.
raising family is a full-time job.
Absolutely.
I'm in Houston.
Houston,
I'm in
nice.
Houston.
Go to a lot of Astros games.
Yeah, a lot of Astros games. I like the Texans. Very supportive on that.
There you go.
Yeah.
We like the Texans this year too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
As a Cowboy fan.
I was saying I'm about to
That's
give
true.
up on the
That's
Cowboys.
true.
I'll go for the Astros. I still can't. I mean,
Astros.
I guess I have a lot of pride.
Astros.
My dad raised me a Cowboy, so it's hard to let him go.
That's me. Yeah. Yeah. True blue. True blue.
Yeah.
Bleed blue.
Yeah, I'll root for Houston here and there, but when they play each other, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, like I said, but that's awesome. I mean, Houston's a great place. It's huge, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it blows my mind how long you can travel through there and still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it said that it's an hour no matter where you're in Houston. It's gonna take
Yeah.
you an hour to get.
That's funny, right? Because that's over here in Cotulla, it's like you can get anywhere in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt, you can travel across. You can go from probably like the point of the furthest outskirt of Cotulla and travel to the other side. You're there in 5 minutes, no doubt. And that's what that was like the thing that I would tell people too. Where are you from? And it was like, well, Cotulla, where's that? And between Laredo and San Antonio. Oh, okay, yeah, we know where it's at. I think the biggest thing was y'all have that big old McDonald's with the play place. Yeah, that was it. At the moment, then the boom came and it was like, oh, y'all are the place with all the hotels. Yeah,
Hotels.
yeah, like a small metropolitan of hotels now. But it's definitely growing. It's definitely grown. Well, ladies, are there any final comment? Or here I could show you a couple. We actually got more. This is my aunt. She was laughing when we were talking about it's better to see lights in front of you instead of behind you.
Yeah.
This is my mom right here. So that's my mom.
Oh,
So they live here in Cotulla still.
Sarah.
Yeah, they actually brought us back. This is going back to Coach Adamy. She was there in Freer, or I guess she's still there. If Mr. Edwards saying that he sees her at times, she's won a few titles with those Freer.
I believe she
Buckaroos.
also won for the Tilden. After she coached in Cotulla, she went to Tilden, the team that didn't know how to play, and she turned them into champions.
Wow.
Yes.
That's nice.
So if it's gonna take anybody, I believe Coach Adamy can get it done. Although we got Miss Belinda, are y'all gonna be retaking the picture?
Yeah.
There you go.
Volleyball cook-off. Let's go.
You can do a screenshot.
That too.
There you go. Cook-off's coming right up. Y'all ain't got nothing to do for.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow to the one here in Houston.
Oh, yeah, ours is nothing compared to that Rodeo Houston. Shoot, they made their own shoes from Hey Dudes.
I'm too far up north.
Yeah.
You're in Maine still, Lupita?
Yeah, 37
Wow.
years.
Wow, Maine.
37 years. I'm right on the Canadian border.
Really?
Asking out.
So your weather's way different than
Well,
ours.
those are not my shades. It's dark here already.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, over here we're still experiencing winter temperatures of 80 degrees, so we're enjoying it.
Not when I was there. It was in the 40s last week or the week before. It was cold.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere too. You know,
Up here.
funny enough, the day before that cold front blew in, it was 90 degrees, and I remember being in shorts, and then I walked out the next day kind of shocked. So that's just the Texas weather, how it
Yeah.
goes.
Our bipolar weather.
Yeah, it's bad.
Cold in the morning, hot by noon.
Yeah, that's all I was telling you. I'm like, dude, they're like, what are we wearing tomorrow? Short sleeves with the sweater, because you're gonna lose that sweater by 12. There you go. At least she was laughing with Coach at me. She probably knows this stare too. There you go. Miss
Well,
Melanie.
I'm big fans of all of y'all. And it's great seeing you guys.
Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Oh, look, Diana.
Hey,
Oh,
Diana.
Diana.
Hey.
Uh-huh. Hey, Diana.
Look
Well,
at her
ladies.
muscular arms.
I know, she's flexing on that one. It's been a pleasure having you on. I really appreciate y'all taking the time out of your days, and just working with my schedule as well. I know it's hard. It's hard, especially getting so many schedules combined to one. So I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to join me on this podcast and to join me on this journey that we're creating for Cotulla through our sports youth league. This Cotulla Sports Association is what we do. We run. I'm the president of our little peewee leagues. So right now we have, and that's why I was asking about what y'all had back then. I have volleyball, cheerleading, basketball, boys and girls, and peewee football and flag football is what we've brought so far to Cotulla. We're looking to expand. So that's why I bring these stories. So little girls, tiny. We start in I'm lying. We start in first grade for volleyball at this point. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're just trying to look to, just try to encourage more and more little girls to come out. So once again, ladies, thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It was great to see everyone again.
Bye, Lolly. Cookie.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. See ya.
Whenever y'all want to come back, let me know. We'll run another one.
Yes. Stay in touch. Stay in touch.
Yeah, get more. The
We
more the
prepared this
merrier.
with our memory bank.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll see y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So what an incredible journey we relived. The 1982 volleyball team didn't just play the game, they made history. Their resilience, teamwork, and determination pushed Cotulla Sports to new heights, and their legacy still inspires athletes today. And if it doesn't, well, we're hoping it gets to it now. And it definitely inspired me, once again, just looking at this journey and just trying to find this kind of history in Cotulla was definitely a pleasure to research. And a big thank you to Miss Lolly. She really helped out whenever she started reaching out on our comments. So a big thank you to the ladies, Miss Ramirez especially, for making their time out to come out on the podcast, reliving those stories, taking us back to that unforgettable season. Just want to let them know that their impact on Cotulla volleyball and Cotulla sports as a whole will never be forgotten. If you have any more questions, memories, or stories you want to share about, this 1982 team or just Cotulla sports in general, please drop them in our comment section on any one of our posts, especially the post about Beyond the Game. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I enjoy hearing about our Cotulla sports history or just any kind of history in general. If you can too, be sure to like, share, follow Beyond the Game, Cotulla Backroads and Ball Games. That way we can update you with more legendary sports stories. And, like our little motto starts going now, because here legends are made, stories are told, and the game will never end. Until next time, keep the spirit alive, the spirit of Cotulla sports alive, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you, everyone.